Widely known for her groundbreaking work to advance women in government, Barbara Hackman Franklin was the catalyst for successfully recruiting women into high-level positions during the Nixon administration. Ms. Franklin later served as the 29th U.S. Secretary of Commerce, using her powerful negotiating skills to open foreign markets. Today, she is respected around the world for her exceptional leadership and corporate governance expertise, while always maintaining high ethical standards. Barbara grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, with her younger sister Susan and her educator parents.
My father was a great influence. He had very high standards. He believed in excellence, and he really believed in integrity. And back then, I think this was unusual for a father to tell his daughter that you can do anything you want to do, but do it well.
Barbara graduated from high school in 1958 and 4 years later from Penn State University. She was then awarded a scholarship to attend Harvard Business School, which had just opened its doors to women.
Being one of the 14 women at Harvard Business School in a class of 680 men was an interesting and character-building experience.
Graduating in 1964, Barbara was married for a short time and moved to New York City, where she took a job at the Singer Company and later at Citibank, until one day, a phone call changed everything.
I did get a call from Fred Malik, who had been in my Harvard Business School class, saying that the administration, the president, wanted to advance women in the federal government, and we needed someone in the White House to create a new function to recruit women to do that. And would I be interested?
Ms. Franklin arrived for her first day of work at the Nixon White House on April 12, 1971, with a presidential directive to double the number of high-level female appointees in 1 year.
The accomplishments of her 2 years in this position, she was supposed to double the number of women appointees at higher levels. She more than tripled it. They went from 36 to 130.
After 2 years, Franklin had also placed more than 1,000 women in mid-level jobs, recruited 339 women for boards and commissions, and created a talent bank of 1,000 qualified women.
But the most important thing of all was that they were mostly in jobs that women had never held before. So the barriers were being broken, and I'm happy to say once they were broken, they weren't put up again.
In 1973, Ms. Franklin was appointed one of the first 5 commissioners of the Consumer Product Safety Commission, where she served for 6 years. In 1979, she joined the Wharton School of Business as a senior fellow.
And at the same time, I began to get offers to join the boards of large public companies. Some companies were starting to look for women who were a little different, and I had a combination of business and government background, and so I joined the boards of Aetna, Dow Chemical, and Westinghouse Electric. I was the only woman on those boards for all of that time. I met my husband, Wallace Barnes, on the Aetna Board of Directors. We married in November of 1986.
During this time, Barbara Franklin also held a number of part-time presidential appointments.
She worked for 5 successive presidents in a variety of different roles, and in 1992, her appointment as Secretary of Commerce in the first Bush administration really was sort of the culmination of that.
And let me just say I am very pleased to announce my intention to nominate Barbara Hackman Franklin as the next Secretary of Commerce. I've known Barbara for many years, and I am confident that her outstanding record of achievement in both the public and private sector will serve her well as she tackles this tough and important assignment.
Franklin's appointment made her the highest-ranking woman in the Bush administration and the 13th woman to serve in the U.S. cabinet. Her greatest accomplishment came in 1992, when President Bush sent Franklin to China, which in effect lifted trade sanctions. She came back with $1 billion in signed contracts for American companies.
And that gave the green light to American businessmen that they could go there once more and engage in business. Exports were expanded to China, and then she worked with establishing better relations with Russia, Mexico, and Japan.
When Bill Clinton's election ended Franklin's appointment, she started her own international consulting firm, Barbara Franklin Enterprises, where she advises American companies doing business internationally.
My connection with Connecticut is my wonderful husband, Wally Barnes, whom I've been married to for 27 years, and we have a home here. I consider Connecticut my primary residence, even though my business is in Washington.
Ms. Franklin is an internationally recognized expert in corporate governance, auditing, and financial reporting policies. She has served on the boards of 14 public companies and still serves on the board of Hartford-based Aetna.
I think Barbara has always been a voice of reason on the board of directors. When we needed to improve our audit procedures and our audit committee role, she led there. When we had to do that for the compensation committee, she led there. She also led our nominating governance committee, which was a very important role in getting more women on our board.
Barbara has served on the Aetna board for over 30 years.
That means you continue to be valuable to the company. I think that's an important kudo to her, that she's been valuable and has been helpful and continues to contribute to the organization's success.
Ms. Franklin has worked tirelessly in leadership positions on nonprofit boards, including the National Association of Corporate Directors and the Economic Club of New York. In 2012, Barbara Franklin was the subject of a book titled A Matter of Simple Justice, the untold story of Barbara Hackman Franklin and a Few Good Women, about her historic efforts to advance women in government. She has received numerous awards, including the Director of the Year Award from the National Association of Corporate Directors and the Woodrow Wilson Award for Public Service, as well as 4 honorary degrees. Barbara Hackman Franklin's pioneering work to advance women over the past 40 years continues to impact women today.
It was that White House push that succeeded in breaking that glass ceiling, in removing the barriers and opening other doors for women everywhere, not just in government, but in private industry as well. Today, women are in almost every industry there is, and we're very proud of that.